A new Fortnite update equals me suffering because there is so much storyline every time. In this update, we will go through the new Slone storyline. Much info about the telescope finally being fixed, what it does, the last kinetic prism, and more. Storyline of the new oathbound members, Lexa and her brother. Another new storyline skin chosen by the shadows. And another one. And another one. Into more Optimus Prime ships. I'm sorry, I mean a storyline. And even Fabio moment. There is just so much to go through. Someone please save me. I'm gonna die. Let's begin with finding the final kinetic prism needed to make this telescope work. You can find this one from an underground entrance of the main temple. Just like the last 3 times, we take this 4th kinetic prism to Trace and get a storyline dialogue in return. My man knows how desperate we are for lore. He's making a living out of it. Trace confirms, as I have said, the telescope and the luminaries trying to fix it is all Slone's plan. And she's the one helping them figure out how to fix this thing. And he brings up how Slone has a theory regarding this telescope. A theory which, if it's correct, things are gonna get really interesting. This theory of Slone should be what she thinks the telescope will do. Therefore, she's trying to make this thing work to make sure her theory becomes a fact. That theory could either be regarding the 5 realities or something else. Maybe how the telescope is made to bring things to itself out of other realities. We will find out really soon because the telescope is really close to being fully repaired. There are new parts of the device being put on it while these mini and long towers near it. Not just this, the picture I've been showing you guys many times, that thing which controls the telescope has been fully revealed in the map right now by the luminaries. In this thing, the missing parts of the telescope left to be found are visible. One of them is one more tower near the little one, and the final piece left is the main headpiece of the telescope. When those are found, there is only one more little thing left to do before turning on the device. That is to put the 4 kinetic prisms in the right places. Dr. Slone knows where exactly these things need to be placed at. Here's my theory on it. There are 3 towers which line up with the energy and light going through the device. I think that each of these towers will have 1 kinetic prism on them, making 3, while the 4th one would either be inside or on top of the telescope itself. But talking about Slone, she has moved from her original location into this main temple, and her NPC goes between the 3 main devices found within this temple. When looking at her, you see a cycle of her first going to this device which teleported Optimus into the map, and now it is actually glowing a brighter blue than last week, while this device has a single circle on top of it. Then she cycles to this other device connected to the telescope for controlling it, which actually has 2 circles on top. And finally, she goes near the last device, the 3rd one, which has 3 circles on top of it. So the circles basically mean the 1st device, the 2nd one, and the 3rd one. This one is still not cleaned up, so you can't really see it in game, but here you go, this is exactly how it will look like. To me, this device should be either related to the Triarch gods or something related to the nothing. Whatever it is, Dr. Slone should start studying it right after we're done with the telescope, so I can't wait for that. There is something extremely important about this device. That's how it has a line pointing at only one of the circles with a logo within it. To me, this might mean that we might not go through all the 5 things that the telescope can see, and instead only one of them. While talking about that, here's a leaked picture of how things will look once the telescope is turned on, and oh my god damn! The graphics, look at that thing, it's so gorgeous, I love it! Wedding celebration with the graphics tomorrow, you're invited. You can see here how just like the device, this telescope has a line of purple lights going right through the 3 towers and the telescope into the sky, creating this stars map in the air, which I love that thing. The stars map has said to have many stages, and one of those including a circle going around in a circle getting bigger and bigger. This star could mean that the telescope does not just look into other realities and things. It could very well also attract planets or moons or just parts of other realities into it. I mean, I'm gonna bring this up. Look at this thing and then look at all the circular stuff in Paradigm in like the start of chapter 4 when she was bringing realities. It is a little bit similar. She might have used a similar device to this to bring the reality chunks here. Who knows? But here is where it gets interesting. It said how after the stars have reached the end, there should be a huge tear in the sky, allowing something probably from the star map to come inside our reality. But now the important question, what could that star be? What will we bring in for the beginning of next season? We have 3 options for that. I have talked about how if the reverse chapter 1 theory is true, which probably is, next season a huge theme of it would be around the frozen reality, since season 4 would be the same as season 7 chapter 1. This telescope could also right now be looking into one of the 5 realities, aka the frozen one, taking a part or a moon of it, attracting it into our reality to open a rift gate and bring that thing in here. So it could be the original ice moon or something similar to it. It would also show us who the frozen reality codename skin coming in the next season might be. That might actually be a redesign of Ice King, since the skin is a male large body just like the Ice King model, with a black body texture, and as we know, the Ice King doesn't really have a normal body, it's just dark smoke. And finally, the skin will be able to summon his pickaxe in the game. That also could be like the Ice King using his powers to create his icy pickaxe in the game. And wait for it, if it is actually the frozen reality, we just got Kraken being a real thing confirmed in the last storyline quest. And there was even a frozen Kraken in this concept of a frozen reality place. Oh god, here we go with all the clickbaits all over again. Pull my eyes out of their hole, I just shot them in my ears. Now the second choice, the telescope instead of the frozen reality might be reaching into the desert reality, the final one to arrive out of the 5. There is even a Pili Emperor statue from this desert reality found in the map right now, teasing it. Even the Meow souls like loading a screen. For the final choice we have is it attracting the last reality to us and the cube cradle. All of these choices are very much possible, and once the answer is revealed, I will be making a video on it, so like the video if you want to see that. So for now we're done with the telescope and it's time for Futurama! I have not seen this show. Please don't kill me. All I know from it is bite my shiny metal ass, I shut up and take my money. The Futuramas arrived into the reality zero with their spaceship crashing right into a megacity billboard. What's up with every single collab just fucking shit up in my beautiful city? Look at them graphics, how can you ever hurt this place? Fuck the graphics, I'm marrying Mega City now, wife! While crashing into the billboard, which is visible in the game too, which is actually a reference to something that happens in the show itself. The Peace Syndicate come into action investigating the crash site to see like what the hell is going on. Where did this cartoon weird things even come from? And how are they playing a part in the game's storyline right now? It was first up, it was Prime, and now these guys. This game is so weird, man. I love it. The more important part about this is a picture of Fabio being on the billboard before it breaks. Fabio is a season 8 chapter 2 skin, and yes, that is the season of Last Reality and Cube Invasion. So for one, this could be our mini teaser into Return of Aliens and Last Reality for next season. Then for second, Fabio in his music pack talks about 5 magic colors which should be on his horn. 5 realities related? I'm not sure. This man in his music will learn how he kept eating his cereal more and more until he could not stop.
And he kept eating more and more and more. He was feeling so sick from it that he was begging for someone to help, but there was nothing that could stop him. So he kept eating until Fabio lost it and went fully corrupted into a flaming horse monster who makes you feel his power.
I feel really bad for this horse. The fact that this was was Fabio Ticklehand's tiny mane in the start, and then he got corrupted by eating too much cereal into a dark flamey horse means two things to me. This could be showing off the ones who follow perfection, aka the nothing, his followers and Geno. How the more you get a taste of perfection, the more you want of it, changing you in the end into a monster. I really think that this cereal story is a symbol to what I just said. Then the other thing is how Fabio turns into a flaming horse. And I have talked many times about how this jungle has a huge connection to flames and fire. Its people should be the fire people. Bringing him as an Easter egg in this thing should be a teaser to something, and I can't wait to find out what that is. Now it's time to talk about our new storyline skins, which if you can please use code Scyan when buying these skins, that would mean a lot to me. First one we got is a knight with a kinetic ore heart, and most of this person is fully made out of kinetic ore. I don't know if I can even call it a person at this point. This one has a rocky-like shell all connected with the power of kinetic ore heart, while for some reason it is spelling out orange energy. The same energy we see through the cube monsters and the cube corruption. I have talked in the past about the extreme similarities of the cubes to kinetic ore, and Cube Queen's armor being the origin of kinetic ore or the cubes, aka the raw kinetic ore. This too we should prove how the cube monsters, cubes and all of that are a kinetic ore technology. Talking about that, the second new storyline skin is Ehra. She is a mega city girl who was chosen by the shadows to become a vessel of a dark one. The person who chose her, giving her the shadow energy, is called Umbra. So this mysterious shadowy figure should be an important storyline character in the future, probably related to the last reality. You can see on this skin's shadowy corrupted version how there is a lot of kinetic aura and purple energy found on her. Purple energy being the darkness one. She is not happy with being chosen to be corrupted, and her mission right now is to find a cure to her shadow curse. This cure, she tells us how it should be found in the jungle itself, because there is a ton of dormant shadow energy found in here. That basically proves how I was right, and this should be a place where Origin and Cube Queen came from. The place before last reality was created, and this statue being the nothing himself. The jungle is filled with shadow energy, which we can see on the skin. It is colored purple, the same one as the darkness energy for the nothing. Now the other new storyline skins are actually familiar ones. These are Lexa and her brother, and boy, what have you done with them, Epic? Just shut up and take my money, I need this. Wife! And I'm not gonna lie, he's kinda hot too. It seems like that Lexa and her brother are done with their duties, and now want to live for their own as somewhat of rulers. They choose the Oathbound kingdom as the best choice for this, and join in with Ageless as this kingdom's prince and princess. Lexa is actually an NPC in the map right now, and when talking to her using Ageless, you can feel how she might have some beef with my boy. Probably related to how he's called a champion, and Lexa be like, a champion, huh? Let me get my super suit to show you who the champion is. Talking to her using her brother, we also see how she's like the lazy sibling who just wants to like mess around and have fun, of course, while my boy does all the work. This dialogue also appears when talking to her using a Stellan, and the sages said here is where in the first season we hear this quote, a beautiful monster enabled by the hubris of a champion. Lexa saying this confirms the beautiful monster to be a Stellan, and the champion as we know be Ageless. And boy, you bet she missed that the beautiful Stellan part is the truth. Wait, is she in love? She also asks the greatest smith of the Oathbound to join and help her out in her ruling, while also telling the other guy this. A worst part of having a destiny is all the waiting before it finally starts. This skin is a knight of the Oathbound and the Rifts, with a sword given to him and shared between his past ancestral generations. He was destined to be a great knight and a hero, and that should be exactly the destiny Lexa talks about here. Maybe she is also destined to be something huge, so she feels the same pain as this man. Now the siblings also have a loading screen showing them ready to fight a shadowy figure in Aegis' throne room. This shadowy figure, you can see on the side of the loading screen that her shadow is taking over the whole room. To me, this has to be the one who chose this girl into becoming her shadow vessel. The one called Umbra. A lot of people think that Umbra, the shadowy figure in here, should be this licked skin. At first I was like, maybe not, because the shoulders of this shadow do not match the skin. But like the more I think about it, it really does look like her, and she's like a shadow ruler or something too. And I would say that expect her to be a crew skin right after Lexa and her brother release in the crew. Just like how Nox was also crew. Wait, could she also be like the second triarch ruler of shadows? Maybe. Going into the next NPC, this one is a shadow agent who gets confirmed to be a vessel of a dark goop scientist, Chaos Agent. He is found at the ice chunk near the Lonely Labs with a new ice chunk appearing with him. This ice place has summer related props on it, showing me how maybe this was a place for the new Chaos Summer Diver skin. Or maybe all of these guys in the summer events were secretly a shadow agent or part of the Imagine Order. We already know how the entire Shadow and Chaos Agent work for the Imagine Order. Why I brought up the summer props is because the face of this summer event being Meow Meow. We got this style like when talking to Shadow NPC with him. He says, take the arm floaties off, which is actually a reference to this picture of Meow Meow with like the floaties and everything. Then more importantly, we have work to do. That means that Meow Boy is working with Chaos Agents and the Shadow people now. Another NPC we have is Ehra herself with much more storyline. First off, it gets confirmed how I was right in this video, and her time traveling powers don't really work how we thought it is. It does not make Ehra become her old younger version. Instead, it makes her become her past Ehra, aka her ancestors she's been talking about everywhere. Ehra becomes her ancestor, so this black version to go through her memories and learn about the jungle and its secrets by them. But sadly, when talking with Trace, it gets revealed how her memories of her ancestors are muddy, so she needs more time to make it clear. When it is clear, she can use the knowledge of the past to protect our future. Exactly like what Optimus Prime says in this week.
The key to your future lies in the past.
The key to our future is the past, so Ehra's ancestors' memories is our key. Oh, god damn it, I'm getting Transformers key flashbacks now.
Get the key!
To preserve the key, no matter the cost.
Protect the key! Guard the key.
Do we have the key?
The key. Protect the key.
Noah, get to the key!
We use the transwarp key. If you give us this key...
Did you know that's actually a controlling game? Optimus might have used the key in the past to come into our island, putting this part of Mirage's body in the temple so we touch it.
Just don't ask what part of my body it came from.
One thing to keep in mind is that what Optimus Prime says here is also the exact same line as Imagine's description. The Imagine's past is the Imagine Order and her father Geno. What if all of these are a teaser to my fury of Geno saving us in the end of chapter 4 coming true? Now, even though muddy, Ehra still can see some of the ancestor memories. A part of it revealed when talking to her as a Slone. Do you know what dangers you are playing with? What a Slone is playing with should be the 3 devices created by the jungle people in a long past. From what Ehra says, this should not be safe to mess around with. Probably something bad is gonna happen soon then. Now the most important part. Ehra tells Serenade, do not think you can fool me. Your waters have treacherous depths. Treacherous means someone who has betrayed a thing. And waters proves almost everything I've been saying last season about Serenade. How Serenade was a river guardian, so having the same powers as Mizuki to control the waters. While she was corrupted and betrayed the river guard, joining the last reality army. Her waters are now corrupted, as shown in her loading screen, and how she was an NPC spawning at the Boner Towers. She was using the towers and her water power to do something. That being to reveal this jungle using the towers and her waters attracting the tree veins up, helping to crush the ground, revealing the jungle underneath. The veins came to the surface because they follow water, and Serenade used her water powers to attract them. This jungle is where the last reality people came from, and so Serenade doing this was to help make the people of the island mess around with the technologies, especially these in the jungle. They probably are needed for the last reality to easily come into our reality zero. Then you say last season did not have important storyline and stuff. Soguma baguette! Oh wait, the baguette and croissant were sent to Jesus. Rips in the comments, they will be missed. There has also been Tony Stark Iron Man files found within a location in the map. This is definitely our first teasers slowly revealing the new Marvel x Fortnite Order Restored comics. And since this is found at a new base created by the explorers and the luminaries near the hidden ruins, which is the exact place we found the chalice at, which Dr. Slone is looking for that chalice right now, so that's probably why this base was made. This either means that Iron Man will work with the luminaries in the Order Restored comics, or that Slone is going through the old Iron Man files here to maybe get help from him again. One thing to keep in mind, some props in the base are in a really interesting state. This one legit has no texture, so it could be just a mistake prop placement by Epic, but I doubt it. Now to learn some huge storyline secrets, click on this video on your screen. These are extremely important. Watch the video!